Yo, what's good, guys? I'm back at it again. Took a long hiatus. We had 1 week off of UFC, but we're back with the newly updated predictions of UFC Paris. I had a bunch of people comment, like the video. Thank you guys for showing all your support. And a bunch of people telling me, yo, you don't know what you're doing. It sounds like you're just reading Tapology and you're just giving me a prediction. What the fuck you want me to do? No, I'm just kidding. But thank you guys for all your comments, guys. Thank you guys for comments. I took all your notes into consideration. All criticism is appreciated. So, without further ado, this is my newly updated predictions for Paris. And I'm here, guys, to give you guys the best information and give you guys my best knowledge of these fights. So, let's get it. Without further ado, guys, stacked card. We got a fight added to this card. Taylor Lapilus was added to this card against Taylor Lapilus was added against Vince Morales. Taylor Lapilus was in training camp, and I believe he was prepared for this fight. A lot of people are saying that he's just stepping in without no training at all, but he does have training, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. Canceled bouts. Morgan Charriere against Asian. Ľudovít Klein, Nicholas Moda. We know that already, so let's get it. Bolaji Oki versus Chris Duncan. This guy said, oh, he KO'd Timmy Kwamba. Yo, I got it wrong. Relax, motherfucker. I'm gonna put you up on the comment section if Bolaji Oki wins, bro. I took a screenshot of that, and I'm gonna make this guy look like a fool. So let's get it. All right, so Bolaji Oki versus Chris Duncan, guys. When I break down this fight, a lot of people are talking about Chris Duncan's jab. They're talking about how he's a problem. Angelo from We Want Picks picked him, so we already know we gotta fade that. No, I'm just kidding. He lost to Manuel Torres by submission. That's fine. Manuel Torres got fraud checked by Bahamondes. No, I'm just kidding. When I said fraud check about BSD, some guy got tight too, bro. This is lit, bro. I'm back at it. Let's go. We talking UFC. Bolaji Oki, 9-1-0. Minus 220. Now we got the odds. Plus 180 for Chris Duncan. I don't care what he did to Timmy Kwamba. He beat him. He beat a guy like Timmy Kwamba. He beat Dylan Salvador by KO. Ferrari, he KO'd him, needed a liver, vicious. Bro, this guy is a problem. Bolaji Oki, he comes from Belgium. He is not somebody to mess around with, guys. Not only is he not somebody to remember. Whoa, let me get this camera to focus. My bad. The reason I have that is to cover. All right. Come on. Let's get it. I started off with too much energy. All right. Belgium. This is UFC Paris, so you know he's going to be the favorite fighter. Not only is he going to be the favorite fighter, guys, but he's going to be favored to win this fight. Minus 220, guys. He's going to be a bigger favorite by the time it closes in, but that doesn't mean anything, guys. We're looking at odds. Lightweight division, 28 years old to 31. Younger fighter. This guy's going to be a problem, guys. Had a successful UFC debut, and we're going to see how he does in his second fight inside the UFC. He comes from Dana White Contender Series. Chris Duncan is not a guy who I think is going to go anywhere in the lightweight division. If we have anybody who's going to reach a higher pinnacle, reach a higher ceiling, maybe that has nothing to do with anything. But Chris Duncan's forward pressure is going to get him caught. And I don't know if Chris Duncan could take this much power. Chris Duncan is a problem. We all know this guy comes from American Top Team, very good gym. But his other loss was by left hook round 2. So he has been finished both ways. He's been finished by submission and he's been finished by KO. When I look at this fight, majority Tapology has Oki to win by KO. Me personally, I said Oki to win by decision last week. I'm going to go with the same pick. If you guys have any type of criticism, let me know right now. Comment it. Don't wait to comment. Comment right now. Majority of people have this fight to end inside the distance. I'm going to be taking the over 2.5. Maybe it's not the best prop, but I'm going to take that. And I'm going to take Bolaji Oki to win this fight by a unanimous decision, 29-28. After losing maybe the first round. Chris Duncan's probably going to be a problem the first 5 minutes. But as Chris Duncan tends to fight on, and the longer this fight goes, man, I don't think Chris Duncan's going to have success, although he loves to win a decision. He's known for that. He KO'd Charlie Campbell, upset, KO, right cross to ground strikes, amazing KO, comes from Scotland. You know this guy's ready to fight, so you can never doubt a dog like Chris Duncan. So that's what I got to say. Give me Bolaji Oki, guys, to win this fight by unanimous decision, guys. 29-28 after losing the first round. Let's get it. Nora, Cornolle versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Jacqueline Cavalcanti stepping in on short notice. Minus 195 for the moderate favorite from Portugal versus the plus 160 underdog from France. The hometown crowd's going to be on Nora. Nora's a problem. Nora has very notable wins against Jocelyn Edwards, Hassana Gaber, KO. That was a pretty impressive win. Excuse me, guys. I was talking a lot, so I might be losing my voice. 34 years old, 27 years old. Bantamweight division. Bantamweight division is pretty stacked. It's getting way more elite as we get on in the later years of the UFC. 5'7" and 5'8", 67-inch reach to 70. People say that I'm just reading the stats, but the stats are very important in this fight, especially if they both won their last 5. If they both won their last fight, that means their last 5. That means they're both on a trajectory to climb up the rankings. And whoever wins this fight, guys, is going to be in a higher trajectory to go up and rise the rankings and get closer to the belt. When I look at this fight, a lot of people, this is one of the first things that I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are on Cornolle. And I like it. If this goes to decision, if this goes split, Jacqueline Cavalcanti's taking this fight after a month ago. She beat Jose Nunes, but by split decision. Who was it? One of the judges gave the fight to Jose Nunes. So you can make an argument that she lost that fight. I don't think so. I think that judge is smoking crack. But we know with women's MMA, sometimes this goes distance. Nora Cornhole looks more amazing than usual, has a very performative round, and she ends up taking the split decision. We've seen it time and time again, guys. Melissa Mullins, she is KO'd. She has power, guys. She has power. She has finishes. I think she has a little bit more finishes than a girl like Jacqueline Cavalcanti, and she's finished people inside the UFC. Jacqueline Cavalcanti hasn't finished anybody in the UFC yet. She comes from LFA. I think Jacqueline is more technical, and I'm going to stick to my guns, guys. Maybe I'll do a pick flip, or maybe I'll look for something on Wednesday, but I like Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I think she has very good momentum, and I think her taking this fight just keeps her active. It keeps her active, and we don't have to talk about ring rust. I don't really like to talk about ring rust. Maybe it's not a real thing, but the more active you are, the more better you tend to perform. We've seen guys fight 5 times in a year like Kevin Holland and still perform like amazing. He won. That was his best year ever. So give me Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win this fight, guys, by 29-28 unanimous decision. But Nora Cornhole, France on her side. She's going to have the hometown advantage, so everybody's going to be on her. So, sprinkling a dog is not bad, guys. Give me Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win this fight, guys, 29-28. But this is very important, guys. She's ranked number 18 versus number 26. There's a big discrepancy in the competition that they both faced. So, Nora Cornhole, when it gets deep, when it gets ugly, she could definitely win this fight. But I'm going to stick to my guns, guys. I'm going to go Jacqueline to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. This fight, let's go. Finally, we got the odds. I got the odds like 2 days ago, I think, or like maybe 4. Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano, 12-4-0 for Victor Altamirano, guys. His record, bro, out of his last 5, he's lost 3 out of his last 5. Daniel Barez has lost 1 out of his last 5 to Jafel Filo. Submission, arm triangle, that's fine. Minus 105 for Daniel. Victor Altamirano is a minus 115. El Magnifico, 35 years old versus 33. 125 flyweight division, 5'6" and 5'8", 66-inch reach to 70-inch reach. I don't really like where Victor's career is heading, guys. If he loses this fight, guys, he's gonna be in for a rude awakening, guys, and it's gonna be bad. First of all, I like this update to Tapology. It shows me right here he's lost 2 decisions to Tim Elliott, Felipe Dos Santos. Felipe Dos Santos just recently lost to Andre Lima, and he also lost to Carlos Hernandez, which was a split decision, so it was a close fight. I think this fight goes over 2.5, which is pretty obvious. A lot of people probably say that this is probably going to go the distance. Me personally, I think it is. I don't really see no finishing upside. If there's a finishing upside, it could be on the Daniel Barez side, but in my opinion, I think this fight's going to go the distance. So with that being said, with this fight going the distance, Mexico versus Spain, it's going to be a fun fight. I know a lot of people are on Daniel Barez. A lot of people like him. And his last loss wasn't that bad. I think I'm going to go Daniel Barez, guys, and I'm going to make a pig flip, but I don't like to say that. I don't like to say Barez, and this is exactly why. I said Victor Altamirano is going to win, and he's going to be able to wrestle the first time around. Maybe he's going to be able to wrestle this time around, but if he loses this fight, guys, he could get cut from the UFC. So with all that being said, guys, excuse my fucking dogs. Excuse them. With all that being said, guys, I'm going to go Victor Altamirano to win this fight, guys, by 29-28 unanimous decision after grappling. I think he's going to be able to grapple and take down a guy like Daniel Barez. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he never gets the takedown. Maybe he struggles, and maybe he gets cut from the UFC. But if I'm going to take somebody, give me the -115 guy from Mexico who has more heart, who has faced more adversity, and maybe, I guess you can say, Jaffe Filo arm triangle was tougher competition than anybody that Victor has faced. But Victor has faced guys like Tim Elliott, Felipe Dos Santos, and he's won to split decision against guys like Carlos Hernandez. So arguably you can give him, that means one judge gave him the fight against Carlos Hernandez. So it shows that if it's a 15-minute fight and if he doesn't get finished, he's going to go in there and he's going to fight with everything, with all his guts, with all his glory. So give me Victor Altamirano to win this fight, guys, by taking down Daniel Barez and grinding him 15 minutes. Hard-fought decision. Maybe he has some success in the striking department, but I think he has to be careful striking with a guy like Daniel Barez. So give me Victor to win this fight, guys. Let's go. 29-28. Let's get it. Ailín Pérez versus Darya Zheleznyakova. When I look at this fight, the Iron Lady versus Fiona, 10-2-0 for Ailín Pérez. Her last loss was to Stephanie Edgar, submission rear naked choke. Upset of the big upset right there. Melissa Mullins is Darya's last loss, and it was by KO. So I'd rather lose by submission than lose by KO. 29 years old to 28, 135 to 135, 5'5", 5'9", 66-inch reach. Her reach is not discrepant yet. Come on, Tapology. Why isn't her reach here? Plus 220 for the moderate underdog from Russia. Argentinian favorite is a -270. Rightfully so. Bro, Ailín Pérez has been as high as like a -330 sometimes. And maybe her performances don't look it, but her win against Jocelyn Edwards was really nice considering that they had a backstage brawl. She's racked up some good wins prior to her loss to Stephanie Edgar. Lucy Padalova, who just fought in, is that PFL, I think? No, it was Octagon. Lucy Padalova just fought, and she just won a split decision. Ashley Evans Smith, she won by decision. And prior to that, she won by KO, and then she lost her UFC debut, ranked number 16 versus number 27. This is what I like to look at the most, what rank you are, because it shows me how high you are in the rankings. A lot of people don't think rankings mean a lot. Me personally, I think they do mean a lot. Ailín Pérez is going to try to take this fight to the ground. She needs to take this fight to the ground. Sometimes the way she tries to take this fight to the ground isn't the best. She tries head and arm throws. She tries to get her stuff done, and she just tries to muscle you down rather than being technical. And then she tries to twerk after her fight, which is probably one of my favorite parts of Ailín Pérez. We saw Marab hang out with her. Ailín Pérez has a lot of hype on her. And I think if she's going to win this fight, guys, it's going to be in notable fashion. It's going to be by 29-28 unanimous decision, guys. I think Darya, if she has anything for a girl like Ailín Pérez, guys, it's to get back up on the feet. She has no takedown defense at all. She's won by KO. Maybe she can KO a girl like Ailín Pérez. But if Ailín Pérez gets this fight to the ground, we saw in her last fight against Montserrat, she got taken down over and over again. But she was still able to win that fight. So we never know. Maybe she gets taken down, and maybe Las Vegas doesn't like it. So they give... Paris. Whoa. That was in Las Vegas. So maybe we're in a little bit of a safer spot because we're in Paris. Zheleznyakova needs to get back up on the feet. She needs to keep this fight in the striking department, and she needs to tee off on a girl like Ailín Pérez. Ailín Pérez struggles with a jab. Not only does she struggle with a jab, but she doesn't really move her head. From what I see, she doesn't really move her head, and she doesn't really have that much of a finishing instinct, guys. If she's on top of you guys, she's going to be on top of you for the entire round. And she's going to try to stay on top of you. She doesn't really have that much submissions. She has gotten some, but in the UFC, guys, she has no finishes inside the UFC. Maybe this is her first finish inside the UFC, or maybe this is another lackluster decision, and then she starts twerking at the end. No matter what it is, guys, I'm going to be choosing Ailín Pérez, guys, to win this fight 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28 unanimous decision. If Darya can get back up and avoid the takedowns and catch a girl like Ailín Pérez who doesn't move her head at all, she can definitely give a girl like Ailín a problem. Fiona versus the Iron Lady. Give me Fiona from Shrek. Let's go. All right, Taylor Lapilus versus Vince Morales. This is the fight that was added. When I heard that this fight was added, I wanted to know if these guys are just taking this fight on short notice or if these guys were prepared. Shout out to Marcel Doroff on Twitter. He said that Taylor Lapilus was informed that he was going to fight on this card, and they were just looking for a matchup. So Taylor Lapilus was training, and he's prepared for this fight. Number 37 versus number 1. Vince Morales is the plus 275. Well, I mean, this is worldwide. But plus 275 for Vince Morales, minus 350 for Taylor Lapilus. France has a huge favorite, one of the biggest favorites on the card. He's a bigger favorite than Benoit Saint-Denis. Rightfully so, though. Taylor Lapilus lost to Farid Basharat. And we know Basharat is a pretty good guy. He's pretty good at the UFC. Who did Basharat lose to? Basharat lost to somebody. He lost to somebody more recently. Or he's undefeated. Oh, the other Basharat brother. It's the other Basharat brother. Farid Basharat is no disappointment. He is very good in the UFC, especially in the bantamweight division. His brother is the one that I was thinking of that lost. Undefeated. So losing to an undefeated guy is not an issue. The issue is, how is he going to look? Paris, minus 350. Does he fit the price tag? He's beat guys like Cody Stamann. Colin Loughran was a very good win. Colin Loughran lost to Cody. Colin Loughran lost to... Is it Cody Stamann? No, it's not Cody Stamann, bro. I had this. Damn. Jake Hadley, who moved up from flyweight. He moved from flyweight to bantamweight, and he beat the crap out of a guy like Kyle Loughran. That was impressive. Shows me that Taylor Lapilus is very good in this UFC division, especially in bantamweight. Shows me that he's good. Vince Morales, 33 years old. 5'7" and 5'6", 73 inch reach to 70. You already know majority typology is going to say Taylor Lapilus to win this fight. Whether he gets a finish, I don't know. A guy like Vince Morales taking this fight, guys. I don't really like it for him. I don't like this fight for him at all, man. And I don't like this fight at all for him, guys. At all. Sorry, I got to keep clearing my throat, but he lost to Miles John, lost to Jonathan Martinez, lost to Chris Gutierrez by leg kicks, lost to Benito Lopez, lost to Yadong Song, lost to Domingo Parlet. Like, bro, this guy has lost on Dana White Contender Series, lost, won in Bellator, lost inside the UFC, and then he's been inside the UFC, then he got kicked out the UFC, and now he's back in the UFC. So, he's facing a guy like Taylor Lapilus, guys. He's going to lose, guys. Give me Taylor Lapilus to win this fight by decision, to grapple fuck him for 15 minutes, guys. Hard, 29-28. Maybe he gets a submission in there, but give me Taylor Lapilus to win this fight, guys. Let's get it. Taylor Lapilus is a good lock. He's a good lock, but at minus 350, is he really a lock? He's more parlayable. Ľudovít Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. When I look at this fight, Ľudovít Klein is a beast, minus 800, biggest favorite on the card, versus Roosevelt Roberts, rightfully so, because Roosevelt Roberts is a journeyman. Guys, Ignacio Bahamondes knocked him out 3 years ago, inactive. 2 years, 9 months ago, fought, won, and then 2 years, 4 months ago, he fought in Eagle FC, an organization that's dead, and then he's back in the UFC, guys. Lost to Mateusz Rebecki by submission armbar. Plus 550 for Roosevelt Roberts, guys. 29 years old, 30 years old, 5'7" of 6'2", 72-inch reach to 73. That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. We got to pay attention to this. Ľudovít, Mr. Highlight, is kind of short. He's 5'7", 72-inch reach, 72.5-inch reach. He has pretty long arms. Not really. Conor McGregor has a 74-inch reach. I think if he's gonna struggle in this fight, guys, it's not it's not like in the grappling department at all. It's not. If he's gonna struggle in this fight, guys, it's gonna be in the striking department. 6'2", 73-inch reach. He only has like half a reach advantage. So Roosevelt Roberts is not that guy who's the more technical fighter. He loves to get highlight reel KO'd. And I hope we can get another one for my boy Ľudovít Klein, guys. Big favorite on this card. A lot of hype on Ľudovít Klein, especially his draw with Jai Herbert, guys. It aged pretty well. Sometimes when you have a draw, it could either age very well or age very bad for you. I think it's aged very well. Ignacio Bahamondes' win has aged like a fine wine. His win against Adrian Cunningham and Thiago Moises, his most recent win to Thiago Moises was actually amazing, guys. And it shows Thiago Moises is a dog, because I thought he was going to get finished in that fight, but Thiago Moises stayed in that fight, and he fought 15-minute battle. Ľudovít, Mr. Highlight Klein, is going to win this fight, guys. And I think he's going to be able to finish this fight inside the distance. He should be able to finish a guy like Roosevelt Roberts. If you can't finish a guy like Roosevelt Roberts, I don't know, what are you doing? What are you doing in the UFC? Majority Topology has Klein to win by KO. Give me KO or sub. Give me KO or sub by Ľudovít Klein inside the distance. Inside the distance to win this fight, guys. And destroy a guy like Roosevelt Roberts and just completely annihilate him. Completely. In the boxing department, he's better. I said that Roosevelt Roberts may have some success, maybe early, but when a guy closes his distance in like Ľudovít Klein and he hits you over the top, sometimes you're going to go to sleep. He has very good wins, guys, but if this fight goes the distance, guys, don't be surprised because Roosevelt Roberts may show that he's tougher than a lot of people expect him to. Sometimes when everybody says, oh, he's going to finish him inside the distance, oh, he's going to finish him, oh, he's going to run right through him, he doesn't. And he's a minus 800, so let's see if he finishes, if he fits that price tag. For me, if he needs to fit that price tag, for me to see and say that he fits that price tag is for him to knock out Roosevelt Roberts KO cold in Paris. Cold. But I think he's probably going to get a submission or a KO, so give me by KO or sub in the second round. Let's get it. That's going to be a fun fight, guys. Really fun fight. Oumar Sy versus Jung. Last time I was kind of joking around, but let's get serious. Oumar Sy, minus 500, is not the lock that we all think that he might be. Jung, 15-5-1. Lost his last 3, but we can't look over a guy like Jung, because when we come from KSW, Oumar Sy is not the lock that you guys think he is. Maybe he is. Maybe he gets past his fight, but he has shown that at the smallest bit of adversity, sometimes he doesn't look the best. He's won by KO. He's won Turco submission, rear naked choke. Oumar Sy, undefeated inside the UFC, 6'4", huge for Paris, huge athlete from Paris, like Cyril Gane type athlete. Rear naked choke, round 1, round 2, round 1. Dude, it is amazing how many round 1 finishes he has. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, that he's faced a lot of tin cans or a lot of not that elite people inside the UFC. But they're slowly rising him up the rankings, rightfully so, guys. In the light heavyweight division, a guy like this can definitely rise up, but we need him to slowly rise up, because if he loses, he might just lose and get completely washed if he faces some of the top echelon of the UFC light heavyweight division. Jung is make or break, bro. Make or break, bro. You're either going to lose 4 in a row, or you're going to have 1 win or you're going to have like 2 wins in your last 5. Honestly, Carlos Ulberg, submission rear naked choke, Devin Clark, and Dustin Jacoby KO right cross was brutal. Brutal. Oumar Sy can definitely try to get a KO, but he's going to try to grapple you. He's going to try to hold you down. He's going to try to get a submission. He has a lot of first round finishes inside of all of his record of MMA. And we'll see how he does, guys, because this is going to be his second UFC fight. So when you step into the UFC, guys, sometimes it's not that easy to finish these guys in the first round. So I'm not going to go first round, guys. I'm going to go second round submission by Oumar Sy. Majority Topology has him to win by submission, but he also can win by KO. I don't give Jung a chance at all. Maybe this age is like milk. Maybe this age is bad. But if a guy like Jung is going to win this fight, he needs better submission defense, good takedown defense, and he needs to stay off the fence. You can't be on the fence with a guy like Oumar Sy, because if he gets a hold of you, bro, you're done. You're done. If you can survive the first 2 rounds, you're more likely going to survive the third. I feel like a guy like Oumar Sy tends to gas, but we're going to see how he looks if he can't get the finish. Hopefully, this goes into the second round, and we could see Oumar Sy face a little bit of adversity. But as he rises up in the rankings, no matter what, we're going to see a guy like Oumar Sy be a problem in this division. So, give me Oumar Sy to win this fight, guys, by submission, second round preferably. Let's go. Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan, grappler versus striker. Crazy striker. Cutelaba is notable for KOing guys viciously inside the UFC. He KO'd a guy like Khalil Roundtree. He's lost to Jared Cannonier, fine. Glover Teixeira, he lost by rear naked choke. Magomed Ankalaev. Dustin Jacoby, he went to a draw. Bro, Dustin Jacoby, man, is terrible, bro. Terrible, man. Like, every time I see that guy and I see, like, a draw or you lose to a guy like Dustin Jacoby, it's a red flag. Devin Clark, he beat by decision. Ryan Spann, guillotine choke, round 1, lost. Johnny Walker, rear naked choke, round 1. This guy loves to get submitted. Kennedy and Jekachuk, knees and punches, round 2. Tanner Boser, ground pound, round 1. This guy doesn't go the distance. This guy has not went the distance. Other than his last fight, he went the distance in his last. He's one of the most unpredictable fighters, guys. This guy's a wild card, in my opinion. I do think this fight can go past the distance. If this fight goes past the first round, it could go the full 15 minutes. Minus 120 for Moldova, the Moldovan favorite. 30 years old, 32 versus 32 years old versus Croatia. 205, 205, 6'1 to 6'3, 75 inch reach to 74. The reach is not going to matter. If this fight can get taken down to the ground, guys, the reach is not going to matter at all. A guy like Ivan Erslan has to take this guy down, bro. You don't strike with a guy like Ian Cutelaba. If you want to, then you can hang out in the pocket and strike with him after the first round. But let's get Ian Cutelaba tired first. Let's get him tired first. We know after 5 minutes, if he gets past 5 minutes and he doesn't finish you in the first 5 minutes, he's most likely going to get finished. He's gotten finished multiple times in the UFC, outside of the UFC, 17-10-1, guys. His record speaks for itself, guys. And if Journeyman couldn't scream any louder, guys, this is what a Journeyman looks like. So give me Ivan Erslan, though. He might get rocked. He might get hurt a little bit, and then he might get scared. But you got to shoot in. Let me get a nice double leg. Let me get a nice single leg. Let's get an ankle pick. Let's roll off the top. Let's take his back and let's get a submission rear naked choke. Or let's lock our legs and grind on top of him for 15 minutes. Pause. I think Ivan Erslan is going to win this fight, guys. Not only do I think he's going to win this fight, guys, but he has to finish him. Bro, we're in Paris. We're in Paris. Majority Tapology thinks that this fight's not going the distance. Sometimes Cutelaba's fights are unpredictable. I say don't even touch this fight. If you want to touch it, sprinkle the dog money line. I'm not going to take no over. If there's an over 1.5, I'll try to take it. But I'm playing with fire. I'm playing with fire trying to take that. Majority Tapology says that this fight's going to end this out of the distance. I think if Erslan can wrestle him, maybe he can get a ground and pound finish over the top on a guy like Cutelaba. But give me Erslan to win this fight, guys. Just by a decision. I know Majority Tapology thinks this fight doesn't go the distance. Maybe it doesn't. But give me Ivan Erslan to win this fight, guys, by a decision. You know what? He's probably going to finish him. I'm going to take the double chance. I'm taking the double chance. Give me him to win by... give me him to win by KO or... Oh, my God, bro. If he gets knocked out, bro, I'm going to be so mad, bro. I'm going to be so mad. I picked this guy twice already. So last week I picked him. And my newly updated predictions, I'm picking him. If you guys pick Ian Cutelaba, let me know. Let me know why you're picking him. Maybe the power. Maybe because of how fast he starts. Or maybe because of his finishing instinct when he gets you hurt. Erslan is going to be my pick. Low confidence. But I'm going Erslan to win this fight, guys, by unanimous decision or KO. Third round. I don't like that fight. Minus 1-800 gambler. 1-800 gambler for that fight. I don't know why I said minus. Bro, I just say, my bad. My bad. Matt Frevola versus Faris Ziam. Earlier in the week, I said I was going to pick Faris Ziam because I thought he was going to wrestle. And a guy commented saying that he doesn't wrestle. So thank you for that. I was kind of like throwing crazy stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Matt Frevola is that guy, ranked number 19 in the lightweight division. Something that a lot of people can't do. One of the most elite divisions in the world. If you're ranked number 19 there, then you're a problem. You got something working for yourself. Faris Ziam, Smile Killer versus the Steamroller. France versus United States. USA versus France. 27 years old, 35 years old, 155, 6'1 to 5'9, 75 inch reach to 71. Faris Ziam opened up as an underdog, and I took him. I don't know if I'm that confident now that he's the moderate favorite, but I think I'm going to make an official pick flip, guys. I don't like to do this. I don't like to touch anything. I don't like to get fancy with it. I just like to see where they are in their careers and who has better momentum. Momentum tends to mean a lot in the UFC. And if he's losing to a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis 10 months ago, we don't know where he's at. He's gotten KO'd by Terrence McKinney. And we know that Matt Frevola maybe. I don't want to say this because I like a guy like Matt Frevola, but maybe he's chinny. Maybe he is chinny. He lost to Arman Tsarukyan by decision. I thought that was pretty impressive, the fact that Arman Tsarukyan wasn't able to finish him. But we know that Arman Tsarukyan tends to love to win a decision. He lost to Poilo Reyes in KO by round 1. I think this fight's not going to go the distance. That's one thing that we could probably all agree on. But if you're going to take one of these guys, take money line. Take money line if you're going to take one of these guys. I took Fadi Ziam last week. I really want to take him this week. And I'm going to take him. I'm going to take him this week. Fuck it. Fuck it. Bro, I was going to go Steamroller. Bro, I want to go Steamroller. Steamroller has the power. He has the KO. He starts off fast. But, if he wrestles, if Steamroller wrestles, bro, if he can wrestle Fadi Ziam or whoever wrestles, bro, somebody needs to wrestle. I know they're not going to want to wrestle. Somebody needs to wrestle here, but I think somebody's going to get KO'd. Somebody's going to get knocked out, guys. Bro, and it might be Ziam. Ziam might get completely knocked out and obliterated. I'm on the fence on this fight. I need your guys' help on this fight. I'm going to do a poll. I'm going to do a prediction for this fight, and I need your guys' help for this fight because I'm on the fence for this fight, and I have no idea who's going to win this fight. For right now, guys, I'm going to go Steamroller. I'm going to go Steamroller. Maybe I pay flip and maybe I'll go back to Ziam. But I'm going to trust my gut and I'm going to go Steamroller, guys. I'm going to take the dog. I think he can win this fight. Not only do I think he can win this fight, but when he has his braids on, he is a menace. And he's coming into his own. I shouldn't knock him for losing to a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis would... Maybe he would beat Ziam. Maybe he would completely wash through Ziam. It's just that Ziam has a lot of momentum and momentum means a lot in the UFC. So with that being said, guys... Give me Steamroller to win this fight, guys, by first or second round KO or unanimous decision. I'm going to go second round KO or unanimous decision. I'm on the fence on this fight, guys, so don't tell me. Don't take anything that I say literal for this fight. But give me Steamroller to win this fight, guys. I'm on the fence on this fight, 50-50 fight, and I'm not touching this fight. If I am, I'm going money line. Fights, my bad. Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. Morgan Charriere, the last Pirate versus Fly, Gabriel Miranda. Gabriel Miranda lost to Benoit Saint-Denis. That's two guys that lost to Benoit Saint-Denis that are fighting on this card. That is crazy, bro. Shane Young, he submitted him, guys. Very, very impressive inside the first round. He was very, very impressive. 59 seconds inside the first round. I was like, whoa, who is this guy? Morgan Charriere, the last Pirate, 19-10-1. Very weird record. His record looks like a red flag, guys. Number 70 in the featherweight division versus number 81. But his record speaks for itself. It shouldn't tell you that he's bad. It shouldn't tell you that he's on a skid. It should tell you guys that he's faced a lot of adversity and he's faced some of the most elite competition inside the division. I think he's faced way tougher guys than Gabriel Miranda has faced. And I think a guy, I mean, other than Benoit Saint-Denis, we can't really say that. But Benoit Saint-Denis finished him. He finished him bad. Like, he finished him brutally. So a guy like Morgan Charriere tends to, you know, if he's going to lose, he's probably going to lose the decision. He's not going to lose by getting finished. Morgan Charriere lost his last fight to Chepet Mariscal. Split decision. You can make what you want with that. I thought Morgan Charriere won that fight. I will say that. I will die on that hill. But with that being said, guys, plus 400 for Gabriel Miranda is a little insane considering that maybe if he gets dropped or maybe if this fight goes to the ground or something or some crazy stuff in the first round happens, exchange, scramble, he grabs the neck and he gets a submission. Plus 400 is crazy for a Brazilian with great BJJ like Gabriel Miranda. France versus Brazil. 20 years old versus 35. Featherweight division, 5'8 to 5'11. 69 inches to 71. Morgan Charriere is going to be the smaller fighter, but he's going to be the more technical fighter. He's going to be better all around. He's going to have better striking. And in my opinion, I think there's going to be a major discrepancy in the striking department. Gabriel Miranda is probably going to shoot within the first 5 minutes of the first round. But give me Morgan Charriere to win this fight, guys, by unanimous decision or KO. Preferably unanimous. I want to go unanimous, but I think there's going to be a lot of finishes on this Paris card, guys. I think there's going to be a lot more finishes than usual. So give me Morgan Charriere to win this fight, guys. By KO. KO. Give me third round KO, though. Or second. Second or third round KO from Morgan Charriere, the last Pirate. Let's get it. Kevin Joseph versus Brian Battle. Kevin Joseph versus Brian Battle. Let's get it. Kevin Joseph versus Brian Battle, bro. 10-2 versus 10-2. These guys have the almost identical record. Exactly identical. Plus 155 for Kevin Joseph. Very good underdog. One of the best underdogs on the card, in my opinion. Versus the minus 185 Brian Battle. I took Brian Battle at minus 146 earlier in the week. I had to jump on that, man. Brian Battle is going to be a big favorite every time he fights. 31 years old, 30 years old, 170 welterweight division, 6'2 to 6'1, 75 inch reach to 77. Almost identical, other than the 2 inch, 60, 75, 76, 76, 2 inch reach advantage for Bryan Battle. 2-inch reach for Bryan Battle. Majority Topology has this fight to go the distance. I think this fight goes the distance as well. And I think this is going to be a pretty crazy fight. I think this fight is going to be a pretty crazy fight, and this fight needed to happen. I'm happy that the matchmakers definitely made this fight happen. And I'm happy that we're going to see this fight finally. I've been waiting a whole week without UFC. It was terrible, guys. And I'm glad we're back to UFC. Number 30 in the welterweight division versus number 53. I think Bryan Battle's going to win this fight, guys. And I think he has very good hands. And his loss to Renat Fakardinov, he got controlled for 15 hard minutes, completely controlled. He couldn't even get back up. He literally got controlled for 15 minutes, like from start to finish, from pillar to post. He got finished. I mean, he got grappled hard from pillar to post. But that's Renat. You know, that's Renat. This guy's going to fight in Abu Dhabi, and this guy's a killer. So, with all that being said, guys, Renat Fakardinov is... Dude, I wanted to sneeze so bad. Renat Fakardinov is a problem for anybody. A guy like Kevin just said, lost twice as well. He's lost to a guy like Khalib right out by decision. And he's lost to Jack Della Maddalena by round 2. Which is interesting because this was an Eternal MMA. So this was in a different organization. But we know these guys both compete in the same division. So maybe they fight again. Maybe they end up fighting again. I would love to see that fight happen again. I love some Jack Della Maddalena, bro. That guy is awesome and he's amazing to fight. He's amazing to watch and he's a treat to watch. I wonder if we're going to hear any fight news on Jack Della Maddalena. And I hope we do. With all that being said, guys, Bryan Battle should be the faster fighter. He has very good leg kicks, very good 1-2, very good over the top, and then right hook. In my opinion, I thought that he was whooping Angelos' ass bad. I thought he was whooping him so bad that this guy had to say, oh, I got an eye poke. And then he had to say, I got a boo-boo. And he left and he quit. And it was called a no contest. I think a guy like Angelos should be cut from the UFC for doing that and for committing such a shameful act inside the UFC. If you're in a fighting combat hand-to-hand organization, you should not be able to leave the cage at any time unless you're completely done and there's no way you can compete. But a guy like Angelosa definitely showed that he could compete after because he said, I kill you, motherfucker, I kill you. But he had none of that talk when they were face-to-face. Like, Bryan Battle's like, you're fucking ass, you fucking quit. And then when the security guards came in, then he said, oh, I'll kill you, then all that. We all know a guy like Angelosa. But with all that being said, in my tangent off Angelosa, Bryan Battle should be able to win this fight. A guy like Kevin just said is very, very, very good in the division. And he's faced very good competition. That's what I wanted to say. These guys have both faced the top echelon of the UFC, of not even UFC, just the top echelon of the division, of the welterweight division in all of MMA. You go to the regional scene. This guy lost to Jack Della Maddalena. Doctor stoppage, round 2, that's fine. Kevin just said is a dog. He shows that he can be in there. And a guy like Jack Della Maddalena has to get a doctor stoppage because he can't finish this guy. You know, that's how tough a guy like Kevin just said is. Bryan Battle, fast as fuck. Very good leg kicks. Very good over the top right hook, left hook. I think his uppercut is one of my best tools that I like watching from him. But he also has good grappling. I know he got wrestle fucked by Renat, but he can definitely take this fight down to the ground and showed that he improved his wrestling. I think Bryan Battle should be able to win this fight, guys, by striking, keeping this fight at a distance, striking, keeping this fight at a distance, striking, head movement, head movement, head movement, and win a hard-fought 15-minute battle. I don't think Kevin just said's going to be able to finish a guy like Bryan Battle. But if Bryan Battle's going to be able to get a finish, guys, he should be able to knock him out. Maybe. I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will. I'm going to go Bryan Battle to win this fight, guys, by 29-28, unanimous decision. That's going to be awesome, bro. I can't wait for that fight. William Gomes versus Joe Anderson Brito. Excuse me. Joe Anderson Brito, number 17, was set to face against Dan Ige. But that fight got canceled and fell through, considering Dan Ige stepped in to fight Diego Lopez. William Gomes failed to make weight, guys. Had a weird weight cut. And he almost passed out against his scheduled bout against Gene Silva. That was going to be a crazy fight. He got saved that day. The MMA god saved him that day. Because Gene Silva was going to whoop his ass bad. Joe Anderson Brito, 17-3-1. William Gomes, 13-2-0. William Gomes, the Jaguar versus Tubarro. I like William Gomes. I like him. When he failed that weight cut, I felt bad for him. And that makes sense. If you have a tough weight cut, you shouldn't be able to fight. That's fine. You can't rehydrate in time. That's fine. And plus, it's your health. Plus 215 for the moderate underdog from Paris. Hometown crowd advantage. Hometown advantage. But you're facing a Brazilian like Joe Anderson Brito. 29 years old, 27 years old, 146 to 146, 6'0 to 5'8, 73 inches to 72. Shoot the books. Crazy gym versus MMA Factory. Amazing gym as well. I know everybody's going to go join us in Brito. Some people even think that this fight can end inside the distance. If there's an over 1.5, I'll take that because that's probably the safest bet. But a guy like William Gomis, guys, is tough as nails. Tough as nails. I would have loved to see that fight against Gene Silva because maybe he would have lost or maybe he would have won. We don't know. There's no way I can say, oh, he would have got whooped. We don't actually know. And maybe he would have showed that he has a lot of heart. This guy has some of the best career finishes inside even outside the UFC. Is some of the best finishes I've ever seen. He's lost to Morgan Charriere by round 2 heel hook, which is insane. That's insane. Like, I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't know that until I went to go back and watch it. Dude, Morgan Charriere is a beast, bro. William Gomis, no shame in losing to a guy like Morgan Charriere, the last pirate. After that, guys, finishes, all come inside the distance. Decision split, that's fine. Majority decision, that's fine. Decision, he has 3 decisions. Majority of his wins are finishes, guys. I think this fight doesn't go the distance. A lot of people expect this fight to go the distance, and I think this fight to end inside the distance is plus money. I'm not sure how much it is now, but with all that being said, guys, Joe Anderson Brito is a demon. He is a demon. One of the best Brazilian mixed martial artists I've ever seen inside the UFC. He has that knockout power. He has that submission ability, and he can also win a decision. Majority of topologies going Joe Anderson Brito. 14% are on the Gomis train. That's fine. That's fine if you're on the Gomis train. I respect it. But with a guy like Joe Anderson Brito, guys, he should be able to finish this fight inside the distance. If he's not able to finish this fight inside the distance, maybe he wins this fight by decision. Give me this fight to end. Whew, that ninja choke is awesome. That ninja choke is one of my favorite ninja chokes inside the UFC. One of my favorite submissions of all time. I love it when Arnold Allen tried to pull a ninja choke on Movsar Evloev. He didn't finish it, but just to threaten it, shows that this guy has some pretty good BJJ. Joe Anderson Brito to win this fight, guys, by KO or submission inside the distance. If he can't finish a guy like Gomis, guys, he probably won't be able to. Maybe he wins this fight by decision. But, guys, give me Joe Anderson Brito to win this fight, guys, by KO or submission, guys. I'm going on a Hail Mary, and I'm going to go finish this fight inside the distance. Let's get it. Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen, guys. A little bit longer video than usual, guys. Let me know if you guys like the longer videos or if you guys hate it. I just rant, and yap. Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is actually on a good win streak. His last fight was to Marvin Vettori in Las Vegas. We saw that he hit Marvin Vettori with the 1-2. Overhand right. He hit him with the same shot 3 times. Like some Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw type. Shit. And I was like, bro, what? This guy hit Marvin Vettori with the same shot 3 times. And Marvin Vettori got wrecked. But jokes aside, his last win, other than his Las Vegas win in the casino, was Chris Curtis. Very good, hard-fought 5-round victory. That was a crazy fight. That even went split decision. Some people even gave it to Chris Curtis, and Chris Curtis went on Twitter. He's like, I don't know, guys. I don't know how I lost that fight, guys. You know how he is. He always cries on Twitter. Chris Curtis, amazing win, guys, considering Chris Curtis beat Brendan Allen and now he lost to him. So, Brendan Allen has been avenging his losses. He avenged his loss to Chris Curtis. He avenged his loss to... Who else did he avenge his loss to? Did he avenge his loss to... Oh, no, he didn't avenge his loss. No. I thought he avenged one more loss, but he didn't. He didn't. No. He avenged Chris Curtis, and that was a very good win, guys. Very good win. Not only was it a great win, but it showed that Arnold Allen could go 5 rounds. I wish this fight went 5 rounds. I wish this was a 5-round co-main event. Or if it was a fight night main event. I wish this was on a fight night and we could see this fight go 5 rounds. If this is a very important fight for the middleweight division, guys, this needs to be 5 rounds. I think this fight's going to go the distance. I definitely see this fight going the distance. So if we need 2 more rounds, that would be perfect in order to see who can get the win and get the over the edge on the other guy as time goes on. Nasiruddinov has been taken down by a guy like Roman Dolidze in the last round. Nasiruddinov sometimes slows down. Against Shane Strickland, he looked kind of bad, but Shane Strickland had a 20-pound advantage. And the fight was at a catchweight, and Shane Strickland still had to cut weight. No contest against Chris Curtis. Clash of heads. You know Chris Curtis. There's always some drama with Chris Curtis. Minus 240 for Nasiruddinov. Brendan Allen plus 195. 28 years old. 28 years old. 185 to 186. 63 to 6'2. 75-inch reach. 75. Almost identical. Almost identical, guys. Nasiruddinov versus Brendan Allen is a very good fight, guys. Very good for the middleweight division, and it shows who's going to rise up and who's going to get a title shot. In my opinion, guys, I think Imavov is the faster fighter, but he needs to have better takedown defense. If you're getting taken down by Roman Dolidze, maybe it's the 5th round and maybe you're tired, but you shouldn't be getting taken down by Roman Dolidze at all. If you're going the distance with a guy like Jared Cannonier and you're KOing on him, it's an early stoppage, then maybe we can argue that maybe you don't have the finishing instinct that we all say that you do. Roman Dolidze he beat, and then he beat Joaquin Buckley. He loves to win a decision. I think this fight is going to go the distance. And I think if this fight goes the distance, Brendan Allen has to take this fight to the ground. If he's not able to take this fight to the ground, guys, he's going to look a little weird and he's going to look a little different. All of his last wins, guys, have come through the wrestling department. Jocko, submission. Angel Muniz, submission. Rear naked. Brendan Allen has one of the best rear naked chokes in the game. One of the best rear naked chokes in the game. One of the best submission offense in the game, and that's why he's evolved from the beginning of his career inside the UFC. He's definitely evolved after a couple of losses and showed where he is in the UFC and that he's a problem in the top 10 middleweight division. If he can beat a guy like Nasiruddinov, guys, he can definitely give Nasiruddinov problems and definitely go on his way to a title shot. I think a guy like Nasiruddinov is going to be a problem, though. He's going to be too technical on the outside. He's going to try to be a sharpshooter. If he can keep this fight on the feet, guys, give me Nasiruddinov to win this fight, guys, by 29-28, unanimous decision. If not, maybe he gets a KO and KOs Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen has been KO'd in the time before, and we know that if he gets hurt, guys, he tends to fold. But Brendan Allen is evolved, and he's a problem for anybody. If Nasiruddinov gives up his back like he did against Roman Dolidze in the 5th round, he's getting submitted. So give me Nasiruddinov to win this fight, guys, by 29-28 decision. It's going to be a hard-fought battle, 15-minute battle. Nasiruddin should be the faster fighter, should be better everywhere except for the grappling department. If this fight stays standing, he should be able to catch a guy like Brendan Allen and be able to win this fight. Give me Nasiruddinov to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Longer video. Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis, guys. Plus 220 for Renato Moicano. Benoit Saint-Denis is a minus 270. Ooh, this is crazy. 35 years old. Renato Moicano, 28 years old for Benoit Saint-Denis. 155, 5'11 to 5'11, 72-inch reach to 73. Benoit Saint-Denis, majority topology has him to win by KO. Last predictions that I did, guys. I said Benoit Saint-Denis was going to win in the first round. I mean, second round KO. But now, as I talk, time and time again, I tell myself, I can definitely see Renato Moicano getting dropped, hurt. Benoit Saint-Denis falls into his guard, and then a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis gets submitted. You do not want to play a game where you fall into a guy like Renato Moicano's guard. You give up your back to Renato Moicano, or you give an ability for Renato Moicano to control you on the top. He's controlled guys like Brad Riddell, Drew Dober, and Jalen Turner. Renato Moicano has showed a bunch of heart in his last loss to RDA. He's gotten wobbled, I don't know if he got dropped, but he got hurt really bad and showed that he can face a lot of adversity, and that was on short notice. So with all that being said, guys, Renato Moicano's a problem. Beat guys like Alexander Hernandez, but he hasn't faced the top echelon of the lightweight division. Number 13 versus number 10. Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War versus Money Moicano. You know, if Money Moicano's on that mic, he's going to talk his shit. And he's going to maybe call out Paddy Pimblett. 35 years old, 28 years old. Big discrepancy in age. Maybe there's a big discrepancy in skill as well. 155 to 155. 5'11 to 5'11. 72-inch reach to 73. I think this fight doesn't go the distance. That's going to be one of my best props. This fight doesn't go the distance. But 13-2-0 for Benoit Saint-Denis. He lost to Zheleznyakova and he's lost to Dustin Poirier. Renato Moicano has lost to guys like Rafael Fiziev. And he's lost to guys like Chang Jung, Jose Aldo, Rafael Fiziev, RDA. And he's lost to Brian Ortega. That Brian Ortega fight was crazy. That was a close fight until he got submitted inside the third round. I think Benoit Saint-Denis is a problem for anybody in the lightweight division. And a lot of people are saying that he didn't get fraud checked by Dustin Poirier. But bro, if you're talking a bunch of smack, right? Who cares? Who cares? Whether it was a fraud check or not, but bro, he was talking a lot of smack, and I know you guys remember that. This guy was saying that he's gonna finish Dustin. Dustin, oh, you're running. There was a bunch of posters where it said like Dustin's scared, and it showed Benoit Saint-Denis behind him like the days are counting, and he posted that as well. He talked a lot of crap on media day, and he said he's gonna run right through Dustin Poirier. A guy like Dustin Poirier showed him. And you can tell Dustin Poirier hated him, bro, when he hit him with that extra punch. Dustin Poirier dropped him. Jumped Gilly. He was playing with his food after the first round. He was playing around with him. Jumped Gilly. Jumped the Gilly again. Jumped the Gilly again. What are you doing? Why you keep jumping the Gilly? Because this guy sucks and he's tired. I'm playing with my food. He pieced him up on the floor. Pieced him up on the feet. Benoit Saint-Denis throwing sloppy striking. Benoit Saint-Denis walking forward like a zombie, looking tired, taking shots, eating shots, trying to trade inside the pocket, shooting a lazy double leg takedown, getting it. Dustin Poirier gives up his back. He controls him. Benoit Saint-Denis, oh, he's sloppy, like if he's fighting Zheleznyakova, and then he oh, boom, and Dustin Poirier hit him again. Yeah, that was so exciting, bro. That's what you get, Benoit Saint-Denis. That's what you get. That's what you get for talking all that shit, Benoit Saint-Denis. You got fraud checked, Benoit Saint-Denis. You got fraud checked by a guy like Dustin Poirier, bro. You got put on a platter and you got fed to the wolves. But with all that being said, all the jokes aside, being fed to the wolves can be the best thing that can ever happen to you in the UFC. A guy like Charles Oliveira was fed to the wolves early. A guy like Brendan Allen was fed to the wolves early. Guys like Max Holloway were fed to the wolves early, and how did that turn out for them? They ended up being some of the best fighters in the whole entire UFC roster. So, as much as I like to yip-yap, as much as I like to just try to get under people's skin, Benoit Saint-Denis, the God of War, is a problem for anybody in the lightweight division, and he should be able to finish a guy like Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano has showed that he's chinny time and time again, and he showed that in the striking department, especially a guy like Rafael Fiziev, if you're faster than him, if you have very good hands, and if you have some sort of decent boxing, like Brian Ortega was able to strike with him and have some success. So if you have any type of striking and decent boxing, you should be able to win this fight, and you should be able to hang in there with a guy like Moicano. The only thing is, if Moicano is able to take you down, he will be able to control you. If Moicano gets dropped, some of the best recovery in the UFC, Jalen Turner dropped him, was able to come back and still finish a guy like Jalen Turner, vicious ground and pound. Jalen Turner gave that up and he sold that. Drew Dober was getting taken down and controlled. It was 1-1. 1-1. And then the third round, he controlled him. Drew Dober's powerhouse. So if Benoit Saint-Denis gives up his back and gets controlled, it's over. It's night-night for you, my buddy. And if you get sunken into that rear naked choke, Money Moicano's going to get you. So with all that being said, guys, as much as I joke around, guys, give me Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight, guys, by second round TKO, preferably. Let me know what you guys' picks are, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this video, guys. And I'm joking, guys. I'm just fucking around. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you guys like the long videos. Let's get it. And I love me some UFC Paris. Man and Farad, I'm waiting for your next fight, baby. Let's get it. Like the video. Yo, like the fucking video. Yes. Thank you. Let's go. See you guys in the next one. Back to the UFC, baby. We back.